Howdy, y'all. Stock Warden here, back with another rocket stock prodigy. So today we're looking at Archer Aviation. So I know I told y'all in my past couple of videos that I was going to get into another rocket stock, and this one quite literally fell in my lap. So if you've been following along on my Palantir Technologies videos, you'll know that they partnered with Archer Aviation for Archer Aviation to end up using Palantir's software along with their AI capabilities. Now, that's not the reason for this stock trending as high as it is, but we'll do a deep dive in what this company is, what they're about, and why this stock is doing so well. But first, we'll go ahead and take a look at the way the stock has performed. And they have actually performed almost exactly the same face-to-face as Palantir Technologies, where they had a 52-week high the day before America's Liberation Day. So they ended up grossing way up high, where they ended up touching their new height at $11.84. And then yesterday, whenever Palantir hit their all-time high yesterday, they ended their day at 11.52, and today continued on the upward trend, just like Palantir as well, where they ended up creating just a new high where they closed at 11.84, but they ended up touching 11.89, which is the highest this stock has ever seen. Now, if we look back a little further into this stock, then you can see definitely how this stock has trended over the course of the past 6 months. Because I don't know if y'all remember, but back in September and October of 24, Palantir was sitting down at $40 a share and lower. Well, they went from 40 and bounced all the way to 80. So here, Archer Aviation was at $3 a share, and practically overnight, they jumped straight to $6 a share before they ended up having their large candle boost up their stock back in November and December. So they've kept the trend where they brought it all the way up and had a huge bull run from October all the way up until the day before Liberation Day, where then the market volatility came in and started dropping the stock down. And then now it has came right back up to where they have been able to keep their normal stance of their stock. So let me get this back in focus here, back to where we were. There we go. So as we can see, this stock has definitely ended up crossing over as far as it has, where it ended up creating a 52-week high and matching it. Now, as far as the resistance line, it's looking like the resistance line is somewhere in this area here, where we're looking anywhere from the mid nines and down, because it looks like we had quite a few, like you rocketed off of here with a breakthrough, then you barely touched, but it regressed, and barely touched, but it regressed, and it kept coming up to test this line here. So, and then all of these candles as well, they come all the way across, and they all stay right here about this 925 to 940. So this is where I would say their resistance line would be, in between these two numbers. So as far as the stock goes, I believe it's going to continue on this bull run that they have had through the amazing news that they've gotten over the past couple of days. And as it continues to grow, they will continue showing out and having more growth as it is. But a little bit more about Archer Aviation. So they have created a vertical takeoff and landing aircraft that is a 4-seater aircraft. Now, that's 4 people, not counting the pilot, so it's technically a 5-seater, but it can carry 4 passengers and luggage. Now, the whole point of this is that they're going to be using it as an air taxi, so then people don't have to wait hours and blocks and miles in traffic trying to get back and forth to the airport, whether it be at LAX or at New York International. So, between a lot of your huge metropolitan areas, trying to get to the airport is supposed to be the one of the largest headaches that anybody can deal with in those large metropolitan areas. And they're looking to be able to capitalize on using the airspace to be able to fill the small void where we can get more people off the road and more people in the air and have a faster commute time and just make an overall better experience for people that need to travel. So they have been able to complete their prototype. They have a fully functioning aircraft that has properly been vetted and working to the point where they have picked up United Airlines to be able to back them on their proceedings for what they're wanting to do with their air taxis. So they already have their Project Midnight, what they're calling it, and they have been able to pursue with that as far as they possibly can, to where now we're just waiting on the FAA to give the green light, and they have a piloted flight that they're expecting to do soon, and the preparations for its first commercial launch in the UAE are underway. So the company is taking regulatory developments and strategic partnerships, which, like I was saying, they've already partnered with Palantir and United Airlines as well. So they've definitely come a long way. So, and with that, as much as y'all know how Palantir rolls, not only in the residential sector and the commercial sector, but they're big in the defense sector. And Archer Aviation is being looked at as a defense sector as well, because with them being able to have a manned aerial vehicle that can vertically take off and land, that would be something huge. And adding in Palantir's software and also their AI capabilities, it's possible that these vertical takeoff and landing aircraft or air taxis could end up being completely autonomous and not even need a pilot at all. So that has huge defense positivity, because then you wouldn't have to have a pilot risking his or her life going into the battlefield to help with either supplies or pickups or even medical help, no matter what it is, for extractions. That would be another yet game changer to have something like that in the defense part as well. And Archer Aviation is being looked at really closely for that. So I wouldn't be surprised if they end up with a defense contract here in the near future once they get this first flight underway and they get a little bit deeper into the technological aspect of this airplane that they have created. So right now, they have a buy rating with a price forecast of $12.50 a share. And then they also have another company that is price targeted them at $13 a share. So, with all of that being said, and them being able to keep up with a high 2024 and 2025 Q1, where they busted their EBITDA from 418 million that they had originally projected to 460 million. So their EBITDA is even higher, so then their net profits are even higher, so then they'll be able to even pursue what they're trying to accomplish further and faster as well, with a lot of that extra revenue. Now, just for the future, looking at this, because right now they're still kind of, figuring it out where they're going to get their first test pilot out, but by 2030 and beyond, so just in the next 5 years, they're talking about manufacturing at least 300 per year. So they believe that anywhere with between now and 2035, they're believing to have at least 3,000 units out and working with the public, and possibly some of that percentage going to the defense, depending on if they end up getting those special kind of contracts. So now it's definitely coming through for this stock, and it shows why the hype is being pushed on this stock. Now, do I believe that the price on this stock is all hype? No, not really. I mean, for us having a huge bull run like this where we had two candles just shoot straight from $9 a share to $12 a share, I mean, yeah, that's a big leap in itself, but I believe it's a just one because they have hit this high more than one time. So I don't believe this is a hype-based stock price. I believe this is an actual true stock price, and also why they have kept their buy and price targets correct, where the price targets are just above where the price of the stock is right now. So that shows huge for the integrity of this stock and not having to be so worried about the market volatility of this stock. Because as we've seen with a lot of other stocks, the market volatility completely trashed a lot of these stocks. Now, don't get me wrong, this one did have some drawback with the market volatility, but it didn't have near the amount of drawback as, like you say, with Palantir, the S&P 500, or the NASDAQ. So this stock was a little bit more impervious to those issues. So now that it's grown, we'll see where it's going to go from here. So this is definitely a stock that I couldn't leave out in the shade from y'all and had to give y'all the update for this stock and to show y'all how good this stock can be, along with, I believe, like I always say, this stock can make millionaires. So, with it being at $12 a share, it's more than likely going to end up going up just like Palantir did. It's going to go up just like S&P did, and it's going to go up just like your LAC and your SRTS. So, they're all showing great signs. They're all boosting well-made products. So, with all that being said, I hope y'all enjoy the video. Hope you learned a little bit about Archer Aviation, and we'll continue to touch back on this stock as more comes in to be able to show y'all the ups and downs and the good and the bad of what's coming for this company. I'm just sitting and ready for whenever they get their first test flight to push out. So, if you like the video, leave a like. If there's anything that you suggest that I could do to maybe make the videos a little bit better for you to watch, leave it down in the comment. I'd like to know some stuff I might be able to brush up on a little bit on my videos. That, and if you have a specific stock that you think's going to explode, please drop that down in the comments too, because I'd love to be able to do some research on it and share another amazing stock with the rest of the community. So, this is the Stock Warden riding off. Y'all come back now, you hear?